this video, I'll teach you how to play the E major chord on the guitar and how to solve some of the most common problems when playing this chord. Welcome back to Relax and Learn Guitar. I'm Kevin and this is Maggie May getting her favorite treats today. My wife Vicky's behind the camera.
Hello.
Let's get started. So this is one of the most common chords you'll ever play. It's in so many songs. It's one of the first 8 chords I recommend that you learn. For the other 7 chords, click the link in the description below. Get my free lesson and chord chart. So for this E chord, let's zoom in here and I'll talk about some tips on playing this chord. So for our E major chord, and that major is implied, we typically just say I'm playing an E chord. We're going to be using our index finger here on the 3rd string 1st fret, our middle finger on the 5th string 2nd fret, and our ring finger on the 4th string 2nd fret. We're going to play all 6 strings. Remember to arch those fingers. We're going to be getting close to the fret wire. You don't want to put your fingers right on top of those frets, but you want to get as close to that fret wire as you can so you can press down. You also want to pay attention to where your thumb is. You don't really want to wrap your thumb around here like a baseball bat. You want your thumb to help give you some pressure and some strength. So you want your thumb to be on the back of the neck. I mean, depending on the size of your hand, it could be further down, but somewhere around here, and you want to use that pressure to push your fingers into that fretboard. And some of the things you might encounter along the way is kind of letting your hand drag. If you leave your hand down this way, then you're going to start getting some of these muted notes or buzzing that we're going to talk about here next. So you want a nice arch, and you want this shape. So it looks like this. If you like this lesson so far, be sure and click that like button. It would really help us out. So we're going to play all 6 of these strings. We're going to pluck them individually first so we can find any trouble areas. So I always recommend pluck, strum, pluck. You good? That's all right. So we're going to play this 6th string. It's open. Then that 5th string. And then 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. Then strum, and then pick again. This will help our ear learn what it needs to hear. Well, helps our ear help our brain learn what it's going to hear.
And it's clean.
Yes, that's a clean chord. Now you may play it and it might sound like something like this. You might get something like that. So make sure that when you're using your thumb for that pressure, you're not wrapping it over and hitting that 6th string, because this is the 6th. There's all 6 strings in this chord, which not all guitar chords are like that. As we progress through here, you'll see. If a common thing I see happen is folks with their middle finger will sometimes, it will mute that 4th string. So you might get like this. Yeah, there's buzzing, there's muting. Typically muting is happening when one of your fingers is leaning against a string it shouldn't, and arching those fingers nice and arched will help solve that. The buzzing, you could, let me get some buzzing. Typically you might be on top of that fret. You want to be just behind it. Sometimes I'll have folks deal with the buzzing on this 3rd string. Typically your fingers may be too far back toward the nut of the guitar. You want to get it close up here, like back here you might get this. A little further up, nice and clean. And that's why we pick those notes individually before we strum them, so we can correct any of those issues and start learning how to get those clean chord sounds. And that 2nd and 1st string are open, so be sure that your index finger is not kind of dragging and muting that 2nd string. You want that 2nd and 1st string to ring open. And doing this will help you with your muscle memory. You'll use this chord a ton in many, many songs. So remember to pick those strings, then strum, and then pick. For some help with changing these chords faster and smoother, check out this video next that I've made for you. Remember that Vicky and Maggie and I appreciate you and having a ton of fun here on YouTube. We'll see you for the next lesson, and remember, you're never too old to learn.
Take care.